All right, we are live. Two Men in a Football. I am Chris Smith. This to my left is my buddy Gray Thompson. We are live at Todaro Pizza here at on North Markley Street, right next to Urban Ren and Hoppin. And we were talking about this earlier that this wasn't a place you came to back in the day here in Greenville.
Yeah, there was nothing here. Awesome.
It was all gravel and parking lots.
Gravel and crime, yeah.
Gravel and crime.
And an art studio.
But if you've never been here, it's 116 North Markley Street. Great pizzeria. Guys from the north have a location in Clemson, which is what kind of brought them down here. And then
you got to say that first, right? Clemson people.
Clemson.
Guys from the north.
Yes.
Clemson people.
Well, his brother went to Clemson, and then they moved here. And about four or 5 years ago, they opened up this place, and it is some of the best pizza that you can get in Greenville.
And perhaps more importantly, $1 Miller High Life.
Yes, $1 Miller High Life, and PBRs every day, all day. And if you got any comments or anything, throw them on in. I can see here. Turn the volume down so we don't get that. I'm on my own show, so we don't get that echo. But yeah, it's been a fun last couple weeks. Obviously, the bowl game started around Christmas time, and I've been running through. We did recap some of the games last week. And so we'll talk about some of the games that have happened since then, at least the big games that people care about, because who cares about? Well, I mean, let's be honest.
Don't say it, because I care. Okay?
Well, you care about the Gasparilla Bowl?
Yes. I cared about the Bahamas Bowl with UAB.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm that guy, man, and I had a blast watching that on a Friday. Come on, man. That's all about bowl season.
Well, and then also, hopefully, if he has a moment at some point, the owner, John, will hop in with us for a couple minutes. And it is cheap pizza night. So it's $5 off a large pie from 5 till close, which is 10 p.m. So, and $1. Well, we already talked about the $1 beer. that was the first thing that spit out of my mouth. So,
$1 beer. I'll give you $5. Shut up, and then you'll have 5 beers.
And you'll have or you can get a bucket. Get a bucket of beer. Give them $6.
Let's prove it.
Anyway, so yeah, let's get into some of this. We're gonna start talking about some of the bowl games that occurred. We will start with the Notre Dame South Carolina game.
Yeah, the Gator Bowl, the highest scoring Gator Bowl of all time.
Yes, Notre Dame wins 45-38.
Go Irish.
Go. Go. I was rooting for the Irish in that one. Although, hey, I'm coming around to Spencer Rattler.
We all are, man. He's an American hero.
I'm coming around to him. And so I think Spencer Rattler's starting to kind of turn that corner. I thought he was kind of a prick in Oklahoma, to be honest with you. But I think he's starting to come around.
To mature?
Yeah, he's starting to mature. He's starting to look better. He's starting to kind of throw darts. He doesn't really have the talent that Oklahoma has in South Carolina. They have brought a few players over from when Shane Beamer got hired as the head coach at South Carolina. But, it's not the quality of talent, but he's doing great with it. It worked.
They got him in the portal, and it worked. It gave him results.
Got a much better outcome for their entire season than I thought was going to happen. Eventually,
2 seasons, right?
Well, yeah, and Shane Beamer is putting together a hell of a program. There's no question about that as well. So, but then also we'll talk about the Clemson Tigers. Kind of took a beating by Tennessee. I shouldn't say it's unexpected.
I should. Clemson had like triple the number of yards. Everything went Clemson's way except for the scoreboard. They just couldn't score in the red zone.
That is correct.
I mean,
that is
it
correct.
was so different.
But isn't that accounting for how good Tennessee's defense is, so they were able to hold them in the red zone and not score touchdowns.
Even I was impressed with Tennessee's defense in this one. But I was also disappointed in Clemson's play calling. The entire second quarter, Will Shipley didn't even touch the ball. Like he was allergic to it. That's not his fault. Can't explain the play calling in this one. Again.
Yeah.
Weird.
It is weird. It is weird, especially when the guy's been slicing and dicing people all year long when it's running. And catching the ball out of the backfield as well has been a big part of their playbook. And so, you know, I will also say that Cade Klubnik is a true freshman. And playing in a big game like that had to be some nerves. You saw Dabo many a times over there on the sidelines, kind of, you know, having his arm around them, kind of, you know, relax, calm down, talking into coach. Well, coaching it. But, you know, it's. I think part of it has to do with the true freshman, first big game. You know,
first start, but my real concern is that he's been there a year. Like true freshmen used to mean a little bit something different because they came in September.
Right.
Like that's why when they started, it was such a big deal. They'd never seen it before. He's been there for a year. And I'm not trying to like disparage the guy, but he's more than just a true freshman. So I think that's part of why you see him be so good at other things. Decision making, that's improved. His fundamentals, he doesn't throw off his back foot anymore. Each game he gets better. He's fixable and coachable. That's why they're called fundamentals.
Right.
But he ran backwards in this game for more yards than Tennessee had positive on the ground. It was strange. That's bad decision making. And again, it's coachable. You can fix that.
Yes, you can fix that.
Nobody's disappointed in him.
Yeah. Also, I didn't get to do this at the beginning of the show because we got right into some things, but I do want to thank our other sponsors, Plumbing and Pink, Rusty and Linda Greer. You reach them at 864-735-7014. They do a lot of stuff in the community, support the Swamp Rabbits, provide charity work. Also, Chris Pryor of Service Realty, 864-380-0525. I know you know Chris.
I love Chris.
So Chris Pryor, thank him for being a sponsor. Obviously, we switch back between here and Coliseum. So Brad Black is one of our sponsors, the owner of Coliseum Billiards and Sports Bar. But let's get back into some of these games. I want to talk about, let's go to the college football playoff games.
I skip the other one.
Well, I mean, you know, the Orange Bowl is the game that Clemson played in.
Yeah.
And then it rolled into the Fiesta Bowl, which was the upset. I would say it's an upset.
By the Underfrogs, right?
By the Underfrogs. There you go, the Underfrogs. TCU beats Michigan 51-45.
Hypnotoads, baby. Have you seen this, by the way?
Yes.
It bugs me because it looks like what Tua's hands looks like when he got a concussion, right? Like, go frogs.
But yeah,
Hypnotoads.
But yeah, you know, I never in my wildest dreams did I expect TCU to pull that out.
Yeah,
I actually thought Michigan was just gonna drop it.
That's what I told people.
I thought Michigan was just gonna pounce.
I thought the 3-3-5 that TCU runs on defense was something Michigan was. It was a mismatch.
Right.
Didn't matter. I was completely wrong about that.
I think we all were completely wrong
Their
about
linebackers
that. I mean, you saw that first run at the beginning of the game, and I said, well, this is going to be the end of this.
Well, even that one was because one of the middle linebackers came down on a huge hit for a flop.
Yeah.
He just wasn't going after the ball run.
Yeah.
Guess what? That didn't happen again all game, and Michigan still couldn't turn it into points there.
No, they could not. They could not.
Coaching got in the way, right?
I would say
Michigan
Harbaugh.
is a team that all year long they get into the red zone and kick field goal. They kicked so many field goals that they covered spread without scoring touchdowns. They had one game where they scored no touchdowns. All field goals.
Yes.
But this time they get down to 4th and whatever, and they're like, let's go for it. Oh, that's tough, man.
That is tough.
Didn't work.
Well, also at the same time, you got to think that I am not going to answer that comment that has popped up on our screen.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. All right, buddy. Throwing darts.
Oh, wait.
I know. We'll get to that game here in a minute because I've got a lot. As Frank Costanza, I got a lot of grievances. But yeah, so I also think, Harbaugh also thought, in my opinion, that his team was a much better team than TCU. I think that's part of the reason he went for it on 4th down at that point, because he thought, listen, in the trenches, Michigan is one of the top teams. And I got to say, TCU outplayed them, outsmarted Harbaugh and his coaching staff. They ran a lot of good plays. Coach Sonny Dykes, that's his first year at TCU, brings them to the college. They were, I believe, I think
200 to 1.
But last year, before Sonny Dykes got there, I think their record was like 7-4,
7-5,
7-5,
and loaded with seniors, right?
Yes. Yeah.
After 4 years of not having any classes that were better than top 20.
Right.
You think about that's coaching. That's what that is. That's coaching.
Absolutely. So Sonny Dykes comes in, takes them to the college football championship. No, does some of that have to do with the transfer portal and NIL and all that?
For TCU, it doesn't. I mean, that's
they got some transfers in, is what I'm saying. Is they were able to attract some players.
I thought they didn't.
I think they got a couple 4 stars from the transfer portal.
That's nice. I didn't know that.
Well,
Built on seniors. And seniors mean a lot to guys like me who care about the sport.
correct.
To see them perform like this, to see a coach be able to take their experience to the next level, and way beyond, to be fair, nobody expected this. Nobody.
Yeah.
I picked Kansas State to win the Big 12. And guess what? They did, and it didn't matter.
It didn't matter one iota.
They're not the best team in the Big 12 in spite of winning the league.
They are not. And we saw that. Because we'll get to that, is that Alabama absolutely annihilated K-State. I mean, they won 45-20, and Alabama was firing on all cylinders. I think they were a very pissed off team, and you can tell. Some people had said to me, "Oh, they're just going to roll over. They don't give a shit about this game because it's not the college football playoff." But listen, when you are right on the cusp and you get passed over and you think you're the better team, and we'll get into this in a minute, and you think you're the better team than the number 4 seed that got in, there's a chip on your shoulder. And I think that's what motivated them, and that's what had Nick Saban in the locker room just fired up and having them ready to go for this game to prove everybody wrong.
And in practice. Leading up to it, they were committed.
So yeah, Alabama wins the Sugar Bowl, and then we'll go to the other college football. Yeah, you've been waiting for this, huh? We'll go to the other college.
Man, Bryce Young's amazing.
The Peach Bowl.
I could Peach for hours.
I've got to keep my composure here before I turn red and start screaming foul language.
You want me to do this?
But I will say this, is that Ohio State played the best game I think I've seen probably in the past since they beat Alabama in the college. I think so. I think this is one of the best games. The way they played the game, the way the players stepped up. Some of the Ohio State players, a couple of them opted out of this game, who were seniors preparing for the draft. That's their choice. C.J. Stroud, their quarterback, played this game He did not opt out. And I think that's one of the biggest and best decisions he's ever made because his stock just went through the roof by playing this game and the way he played this game.
He's outstanding.
And I mean, he looked like the Heisman Trophy winner.
Been that guy, by the way.
He has.
Been that guy.
He is, but the knock on him has been he doesn't use his feet. He's tried to make himself an NFL passer, but in this game, he was running around. He was making moves with his feet, and I wish he would have done that his entire year, his entire career at Ohio State. Unfortunately, I think it's coming to an end. He's going to announce for the draft. I mean, the quarterback meeting room in Ohio State is just chock full of 5 stars. The next guy up, Kyle McCord's a 5-star. Kyle McCord, yeah. And I think he's going to be top notch. So I'm not really worried about Ohio State at the quarterback position. We know their wide receivers. They're just, first of all, how did Marcus Harrison Jr. not win college football wide receiver of the year?
Because it's just how
I just don't understand. They gave it to the dude from Oklahoma. I get it. Caleb Williams wins the Heisman. Wide receiver wins wide receiver of the year. Yeah. The Oklahoma wide receiver. I forget his name. I'll have to drive back. Yeah. Anyway, you want to know what Marvin Harrison Jr.? Nope. And so, yeah, I mean, I think Ohio State played as well as they could. I think there were a number, and we talked about this before the show, there were a number of calls and non-calls that the refs decided this game already.
The refs got in the way.
Yes.
Legitimate or not, accidental or not, the refs got in the way of some really determinate. That's what bugs me. One thing if it's for a first down or forcing you to kick. But Georgia got points too.
Right.
They got points. Not just turnovers on downs. They got points on things that weren't called. They got away with things that were. It was messy. And it went both ways too. But it defines more of what happened to Ohio State rather than, I know who the better team was and the better team was. Alabama, Kansas State. Kansas State played a great game, believe it or not. They really did.
They did.
Maybe not the best game plan, but we know who the better team is. With Michigan and TCU, I think the better team lost. Georgia and Ohio State, I don't know who the better team is. And I think it's okay to say the refs deserve some blame for this. It's disappointing how much they affected the game, likely illegitimately.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we talked before the fake punt timeout. I mean, they already got the first down before the refs even blew
the ball was snapped.
Yeah,
the ball was snapped.
Right. So,
and it's a call coming down from the booth. Look, even if it's legitimate, I don't have to like that at all.
Yeah. And then you had the targeting call, which me and you kind of disagree on. But I will say that the targeting call that I am referring to is the deter. It's not that I'm not talking about hitting in the head or neck with your helmet. He launched at Marvin Harrison Jr. And part of targeting is launching off your feet and hitting, whether it's with his shoulder pad or his helmet, hitting a player in their head. And that's exactly what he did.
I'm not sure, hear me out, I'm not sure whether or not they can call it launch. My point, hear me out, is that because he hasn't been able to start running, he is by definition defenseless.
Right.
Smack a guy like that, part of me wants to go, well, that's football. The other part of me wants to go, how is that anything but defenseless?
Right.
And the edge of the end.
Correct.
And the argument I heard was, well, how did he get concussed if he didn't hit his head? You don't have to hit your head directly to be concussed. Your body shakes. Your brain hits your skull. Don't forget, right? They say that it's not the fall that kills you; it's hitting the ground, right? It's messy, and that's just one example. There were movement across the line that wasn't called. They weren't set for the 2-point conversion, which is weird, and that might have been determinant in this game. Think about it. If that didn't happen, right, then they get back up and go for an extra point. Now we're talking going into overtime for this game.
Correct.
Think about that. Don't we all want that? The refs got in the way of everything for both sides. Make no mistake. They got in the way. It's an impossible job, but they didn't do a good enough job for us not to say they failed. That's all. It's tough, man. For a game like this where, let's put it this way, the football from both sides in all three phases was better than the referee. They need championship caliber refs in these championship caliber games. And that's what's disappointing.
I 100.
You gotta let it go, but it's still it's okay for it to hurt. Win or lose.
Correct. I 100% agree. We had a couple bowl games today that we can talk about. Since we already talked about the Sugar Bowl.
We're watching the Rose Bowl right now, and I was going to add, like you said, this was C.J. Stroud's best game or whatever. This Rose Bowl game last year against Utah, who's playing in it right now.
Oh, he was
sensational.
He was throwing dimes.
That was when we all learned how to pronounce Jackson Smith Njigba, right? No, it's Njigba. Like, oh, I got it now. After the fourth touchdown, I got it. Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, he made his name in this game, and it's unfortunate that he got hurt. Decided that he was just going to sit out the rest of this year, prepare for the draft, kind of the Nick Bosa kind of thing.
Hamstrings are different. And Nick Bosa had groin problems, right?
Well, he had the.
I think of the Joey. Who had the groin problem?
Joey. Nick had
keep up with the posts.
The oblique chest issue. I forget exactly what he did, but that was part of it. Part of the game today that we saw earlier, which was absolutely insane. The Green Wave.
I've been talking about them all year. They are what Western Kentucky was last year. Tulane has been relentless fun all year long. If you're like, I want to get into football more, but I don't want to cry every Saturday when my team doesn't do what I want them to do to win. Tulane has been so fun, physical fundamentals. They won their league. They're a great story. They don't do anything wrong. They don't get in trouble. They beat SoCal.
Yes, they did. By one. They beat them 46-45
at the end.
And
fourth down.
Yep. And that was in the Cotton Bowl. Cotton Bowl.
Good moves, Cotton.
Mississippi State pulls it out. In memory of Mike.
They were going to win, by the way.
Oh, Mike Leach.
Did you see this?
No,
Illinois is throwing, what do you call it, the laterals and everything. They had a really good game plan to get a position to kick a field goal to win. Okay, so the ball keeps moving across the field. Mississippi State stops it and scores a touchdown off of stopping this crazy drive for laterals and backward passes. It makes Mike Leach, a guy who didn't smile very often. He's smiling in heaven, man. I tell you what, we're all smiling with him.
Absolutely. Cheers to Coach Mike Leach. Absolutely. What a legend. He was one of a kind, that's for sure. Smartest guy in the room, but you never know it.
You never know.
Guy had a master's, had a law degree.
Yeah, come on,
man. It's crazy.
He is largely responsible for the way both college football and the pros have developed. Like the pros, they had to explain what RPO was in the Super Bowl a few years ago, right? Like RPO, okay, I get it. Like we get it, of course.
Yeah.
That's because of him. Make no mistake.
Absolutely. So Mississippi State beats Illinois 19-10. I think it was like a last. I think Mississippi State scored a touchdown in the last couple minutes.
The last 10 seconds.
Last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
There you go. See? I didn't watch.
I'm here to help. Go down. Line up. That's good, man. Come on, everybody. No offense to Illinois. Nobody wanted y'all to win.
No,
everybody wanted Mississippi State to win.
I even think maybe Illinois wanted Mississippi State to win.
Yes. First class, right? When you can put it on that. Like,
just be like Mike Leach.
The coach. Yeah, you know.
This one's for the man.
We tried. It's fine.
Then right now, you got the Rose Bowl. So this is the last bowl game until the championship game between TCU and Georgia, which is on Monday the 9th. I believe it's an 8 o'clock kickoff or like an 8:10 kickoff, something like that.
8:30, but yeah.
8:30. So that's
like 8:23 stuff.
Yeah. So what's the score's tied right now? Yeah, I think it's 14-14. Penn State and Utah.
I haven't been paying enough
Utes.
attention. I've been spending all my time here helping support the #1 podcast in Greenville, South Carolina.
Well, it used to be number 2.
Get it? 2 guys in a football? Hey, you got to drink from that, man.
Used to be number 2, behind Fed.
I'm still doing the podcast, by the way, but I'll settle for 3rd place.
But yeah, we are live here at Sadaro's, 116 North Clay Street, downtown. So you can see Ford Field from here.
Oh, you can throw a baseball in the Ford Field from here. Yeah, no pun intended.
There you go. You got Urban Wren is literally right behind us through this window, and then right on the other side of that window, you can probably see part of the sign or the top of the building. That is Hoppin. Hoppin is best place to explain Hoppin is you get a little wristband and you walk around and you tap your wristband and just pour some beer. They've got pool tables and stuff. It's pretty cool. Urban Wren is like a winery, restaurant kind of deal. And then you've got Sadaro's Pizza. And you never know. You might walk in here one day and see this ugly mug greeting you. Because I do help John out a couple days a week.
Buy my beer. It costs $1.
A PBR High Life $1. Wednesday nights is $1 slice night. $1 for a slice of pizza.
There's probably a line.
Oh, they usually have lines. If it's not raining, forget it. I mean, it's down the block. Also, if you do go to Hoppin, we are the only place that delivers it.
We are?
Sadaro's is. So you can order from us.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. And then also want to thank Plumbing and Pink, Rusty and Lynn Greer, 864-735-7014, and Chris Pryor, Service Realty, 864-380-0525. I got to have lunch with Chris. Yeah, we went to Bonjour Maine.
What?
Bonjour Maine.
I don't know what that is.
It's down on Main Street.
That makes sense.
It's like a crepe. It's like a crepe joint.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're talking about.
Bonjour crepe.
Yeah,
now it's called Bonjour Maine.
Okay.
But me and him had lunch there a couple weeks ago. You know, shooting the shit, kind of talking about things. How business is going
Who's
for him.
Chris's team, by the way?
So he's Ohio State.
I thought so.
I'm not sure if he's Cleveland or Cincy.
He's Cincy, man. He's got the heart of a champion. I can tell. There's no way he's a Browns
I know he's a
fan,
Reds
really.
fan. I know he's a Reds fan.
Yeah,
so maybe
no,
he
he's
was
not a Browns fan. Give me a break.
Well, you never know.
I do know. If he's a Reds fan, he ain't going for the Browns. If you are, Chris, it's on me.
Houday. Houday. Speaking of Houday, we're going to get into that here in a minute. Just want to go through some of the NFL games that happened, and then we'll talk about tonight's game. Because we're about halfway through already. Can you believe that? I think we need some refills. What do you think?
I'm here to help.
I'll grab Cody here in a second.
Me too.
You got to pee too?
That's the problem with doing a live show, man. I'm just going to pee right here.
Oh, Lord. There, you do got
There's
to
no carpet.
Well, we don't want to make that big of a mess.
I'm just telling this here.
All right, let's talk about this NFL playoff picture.
If we must.
No, sorry.
I will say this, if you don't mind.
Yes.
This has been a really sensational college football season.
It has.
Some of the best college football playoff semifinals game. I think everybody agrees they were not boring.
No.
More than you can ask for. I'm so thankful, man. It's been really great.
Well, and it's going to be even more interesting next year when we expand.
The year after. Next year. But next year we have Cincinnati and all these other teams who are in the Big 12, UCF. I get them really excited.
Yes.
Yeah, Memphis is the other team.
Big 10 gets Oregon and
UCLA
and USC.
I've heard of them.
we are plotting to get Oregon and Washington. Oregon. But we are plotting to bring those two in somehow, somewhat. We would love Notre Dame, but they want to
go Irish. Notre Dame's in a special place, man. Especially with playoff expansion. Jack Spoilberg is a hero for this sport. We'll We'll recognize that in 20 years, I think.
10 years.
10 years.
10 years, we'll recognize. All right, NFL college playoff picture. We'll start with the AFC, and then we'll go to your NFC. Because my Jets got eliminated this past week, so. But you got the Chiefs, the Bills, you got Cincinnati, you got LA Chargers, and the Ravens of all clips. They're in the hunt with 2 playoff berths available. You got the Jags, the Patriots. I believe if either one of those win, next week it's over anyway. Then you've got the Dolphins, the Steelers, and I don't think the Titans are making it. They're playing the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. What a weird season for the Titans.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, they lost to the Cowboys this week.
So I was just going to say, I don't think they're winning a Super Bowl anyway, so I'm not really, it's weird. Weird season.
And then you go over to the NFC. You've got your Eagles. You've got the Niners, the Vikings, and the Cowboys. By the way, I would watch out for those Vikings, boy. They even though we'll get into this.
Best kept secret in the sport, in a way,
yeah. You got the boys, and then you've got the New York Football Giants sneaking in. First-year coach Brian Daboll coming in with a terrible quarterback named Daniel Jones, and turning him into an actual serviceable quarterback to make the playoffs.
Brian Daboll learned a lot from Nick Saban at Alabama, came and turned this league around with Daniel Jones. It's not a surprise for both sides.
Well, you also can't forget Saquon Barkley is the biggest threat on that team.
What did you say?
Saquon Barkley. Saquon.
Not Charles.
Not Charles. Saquon. And then you've got in the hunt the Seahawks with Geno Smith.
There's Holly Rowe on TV right now. National treasure, Holly Rowe.
And then on the bubble, you've got the Lions and the Packers. I hope both of them make it.
I can't believe the Lions, the season they eventually had. It's really interesting. It's something else. I don't love the Lions. Who loves the Lions? Man? Nobody loves the Lions.
Yeah, but if you watch Hard Knocks,
I don't.
You gotta watch it.
I thought that was the Chiefs this year.
Well, but I'm talking about the whole Dan Campbell thing. And
I didn't see it.
Yeah, go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. Sorry if it's a little noisy here, but there are a lot of. They have filled the bar up. There are people drinking. I believe I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots on the bar.
That's a bunch of fireballs.
That's a bunch of fireballs. They can keep their fireballs.
Keep taking pictures. You can't see this off camera. They're taking pictures of us.
Yes.
They love it.
They do.
That's why all the noise is. Just shots.
Green Chris. Shot. But so that's where we are. And so it's going to be an interesting next couple weeks, or next week, I should say.
Yeah.
In the NFL, about who makes it. Some of this may be decided by records, points for, points against, stuff like that. Wild cards, and things of that nature. So it's going to be interesting to see. And we've got a hell of a game on tonight, which we'll get to in a minute. But I just want to go through a couple games that were on this past week. As John stares at me and gives me these googly eyes.
You didn't spend the entire hour talking about those big football games.
Oh, we did.
The greatest college football playoff game in the history of the playoffs.
Oh, we did. It was most of the half hour. It was
celebration.
So let's talk. We saw
Awesome, by the way.
Yes, John is the owner. They started in Clemson 20-some odd years ago. Opened this location up about 4 or 5 years ago. John's the owner of this one. His brother Chris owns the one down in Clemson. Chris's brother's a Clemson grad from 2000 or something like that.
Go Tigers.
And so yeah. So just going to a couple scores, not get too in depth, but because the Patriots beating the Dolphins was kind of important for the playoff picture.
Weird. Yeah.
The Giants destroyed the Colts, which is what put the Giants into the playoffs.
I came in on that.
Let's see, what else? Chiefs beat the Broncos, so that helps them in their seeding anyway. Jaguars again, yeah. Jags beat the Texans.
You need to get it on that spot.
I will get it on that
Niners
spot.
sweep them out against the Raiders.
So I can get it.
It doesn't matter. He's playing for the Niners, man. All they do is tennis.
That guy's walking out with his the place is different. He just took the case of High Life living out store. And he probably paid $12 for that case. So, I hope he doesn't get stopped by the CD for
He's safe here.
Then you had the Chargers beat the Rams, which is what propelled them into the playoffs.
The LA Chargers beat the
LA Rams.
I think you can say it, right?
Yeah. Then somehow, some way, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Ravens.
Najee Harris.
Oh,
Good way, man.
All right, you and your Alabama.
You don't have to care about that, man. He's amazing.
No, he is. He is. That touchdown at the end of the game, when he came out of the backfield, and Kenny
Special
Pickett,
player, man. He's not boring.
Kenny Pickett
too,
just tossed it up.
Pittsburgh guy making Pittsburgh win. It's hard not to love that, man. I get hate Pittsburgh, but I don't.
Yeah,
We're not
I
playing
agree.
my game.
Hey, John. Yes, sir, please.
Service.
What? Because we did a couple of shots of Jameson on you.
Oh, all right.
That's why I'm going cheap. You know, I don't want to wear out my welcome too much.
Hey, good job, man. Thank you, John.
John.
That happened a long time ago.
Oh. So like I said, we have some fun times. You never know, you might see my ugly mug here to greet you when you walk in. I do work in front of the house a couple days a week. I mean, the crowd here tonight is ridiculous. When we walk, you were here before me, but when I got here, this place, the entire outside was packed.
It's January 2nd. There's so many places that have been closed today. And I
Yes.
came here early,
Yeah.
and it was packed. I had to wait. Awesome.
Cheap
Have
pizza
no
night.
complaints.
Cheap pizza night. $5 off any large pizza from 5 to 10 o'clock.
What's the Wednesday deal?
Wednesday's dollar slice night from 5 to 10.
$1 slice.
$1
$1
slice.
beer.
Dollar
I'll give
beer.
you $3 to leave me alone and come here.
I'm happy to pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger. That's what that made me think of. Oh, man. All right, let's get into tonight's game, which is going to be absolute insanity. I think it's going to be one of the best NFL games. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. It is
In Cincinnati.
It's in Cincinnati. It is, it is for Cincinnati to clinch the AFC North. It is also part of Cincinnati or Buffalo clinching the #1 seed. So, because you've got,
Is that right?
yeah, you've got Buffalo, KC, and Cincinnati. There, look.
No, I hear you. If Buffalo wins, they get 2 games at home after. Versus if they don't win, they have to come back to play Cincinnati. Wow.
Yes.
That's hard to beat.
Yes.
On a Monday.
Because this would put Cincinnati at 12-4. It put the Bills at 12-4, and then you've got the Chiefs at 13-3.
Cincinnati, who hasn't lost since October, by the way.
Right.
They're the hot team right now.
They are the hot team. And it's
who?
Who they?
No, who they?
Who they?
Who they think they're gonna beat
Them Bengals.
Remember they played in the jungle. Yeah, I'm rooting for Joe Burrow and company.
I I wish my buddy Brandon was here. He's a huge Buffalo Bills fan.
I know. Hey, man, even the University of Buffalo has had a lot to celebrate this year.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, Brandon, his wife was sick, and then he caught it from his wife. Unfortunately, he could make it today.
We don't blame her.
We don't blame her at all. But me and him, so after this, I was running out of here. I was going to go over. I got my Joe Burrow jersey in the car.
What?
I got my Joe Burrow jersey.
I didn't know you had one of those. Go get it now.
No.
Stay here?
No. I got
I'll
my
wear it.
Joe
I'll
Burrow
go get it.
and I was going to head to East Side, the Bills Mafia bar, and sit there.
Oh, man, you're that guy.
I am that guy.
Oh, my God. I should have known.
Well, and what I've been doing during the season, I didn't do it during the Jets Buffalo games, but what I've been doing is I've been wearing my Jets jersey and Jets hat to East Side. Yes. Apparently, I may or may not be welcome. So I still don't know.
Come on, man. Don't let you in, right?
I still don't know.
You're big.
So
Tell me you played there. Don't believe it.
I got my Nick Mangold jersey. I got my Nick Mangold Jets jersey.
I didn't know this. I'm not surprised. That's cool.
Nick Mangold of
I
Ohio
was
State.
going to say, that's a great choice.
Yeah. So, Nick Mangold, I hope you can, watch this someday and give me a shout out or something.
Just comment. He said, no way.
But tonight's game going to be interesting. A lot on the line for both teams. Either Buffalo and Kansas City will be tied for the #1 seed, or unfortunately the Ravens still have an opportunity to win the AFC South. Well, I mean,
That's fine.
you've got Tyler. You got Tyler Huntley. I want Lamar Jackson. I want the real Ravens. I want the real Ravens. And so the fact that Lamar's been out for all this time, I think it's total BS. But it is what it is. Yes, absolutely. And I'm kind of raising my voice here just so make sure that people can hear us. I may have no voice left. No, but we've got a whole group of people here who are ordering food, ordering drinks. So it's hopping down here. Oh, hey, that's that place. That's not this place. Get it? But yeah, we are live at Tadaro's Pizza, 116 North Market Street, the west end of Greenville. See, you can throw a baseball to Ford Field from here. You've got Urban Run, you've got Hoppin'.
You got parking across the street.
You got parking, and it's free for 2 hours.
Makes me happy.
Free parking for 2 hours. Yeah.
I parked the whole block away. Can you believe it? Oh my God.
Yeah,
Love this sound.
if you're coming here, Urban Run or Hoppin', it's 2 hours free parking. I see the Rose Bowl is back on. Halftime has
Tied at 14.
Tied at 14. We got new beers, but thank you, sir. Cheers. Who's asking me if you want to know the second
What a nice guy. The service here. Chip Boyardi.
Oh man! All right. So, who do you think's gonna win tonight?
Who do I think, or who day do I think is going to win?
That's okay.
Home game. The Bengals are hot. They haven't lost since Halloween. Come on, man. What do you expect from us? Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about the Bills, but I have to roll with the Bengals right now. Man.
I agree with you.
Pizza LaRosa 347-1111. Get it done today.
Okay.
What do you want me to do? I have no problem with Josh Allen winning. Cincinnati, not Cincinnati, I should say Joe Burrow has grown on. I didn't like him at first. I still think he needs to throw. But
Well, it looks like Macaulay Culkin.
he's so impressive, man. I see it. We're trying not to watch Penn State score another touchdown. Penn State just went up a score.
To the house. 87-yard rushing touchdown.
Interestingly, both of these coaches in the Rose Bowl have coached here and lost. Neither one of them have won a Rose Bowl. That's why I think it's fascinating.
Yes, that is correct. That is true. But you were talking about how much you hate James Franklin. Are you rooting for Penn State?
I don't like to hate anybody, but I don't think James Franklin is a great leader of men. I think Penn State deserves a better coach like Matt Rule, who's from Happy Valley and loves Penn State, fill in the blank.
Yeah, but he just signed a ridiculous deal in Nebraska.
It's kind of like Deion Sanders, man. Eventually he's going to be at Florida State. It would be disappointing if Matt Rule never coaches at Penn State. So give it time. Maybe he'll be there a decade. I don't know. We'll see. I just don't think James Franklin was ever a good coach. Whatever, man. I don't love it. I don't love James Franklin, okay? And I'll tell you what, I love Kyle Williams. That's a good coach, man. That's a good leader.
I agree. And I love the Notre Dame coach, Freeman.
Coach Freeman, man, I tell you what, he's got 6 kids, and all 6 of those kids.
Does he really?
Yeah, and they're gorgeous. His family's gorgeous. His smile is gorgeous. I'm super stoked for Notre Dame. The way he leads that team, the way Notre Dame has behaved, to hire him in the first place. Don't get me started on the Irish, man. But yeah, you're right. He's a good coach. He's got a good future. They lost their bowl game last year against Oklahoma State. That was his first game as a head coach in Notre Dame. So to win this game the way they did against South Carolina, if you're listening, Gamecock fans, I get it if it hurts. Tried really hard and gave Notre Dame hell, and that was fun. I know a lot of Notre Dame fans who were like, this was as much fun as we can have in a bowl game. They've lost a lot of them. They've been in the playoffs. We talk about how these semifinal games never have competition in the first games, right?
Yep.
Notre Dame's one of those examples. They get blown out. Marcus Freeman, he's the future, man. It's hard not to be excited about the guy.
Yeah, I 100% agree that Marcus Freeman is going to have a hell of a future as a head coach, whether it's at Notre Dame or not. You know, Notre Dame is a very picky school and very quick to pull the trigger when it comes to their head coaches.
Yeah,
just because of, they think who they are.
They kept Weiss around forever, and they paid him forever after they fired him.
Well, I was just going to, but since Charlie Weiss, they really haven't kept anybody too long. How long?
Brian Kelly.
Well, and then Kelly decided to go to LSU.
No, he went to his family.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That is one thing. Brian Kelly walked into that basketball arena and tried to put on a Southern Louisiana accent. Yeah, that's some.
Brian Kelly's a great coach. Everything else, as a person, as a man, as a human, he's not. Right? I don't think he's a good person.
Yeah, I don't.
As a coach, beat Alabama, 10-win season, win your division. I mean, you couldn't ask for more from a debut for a head coach. I don't have to love it. I don't have to love it.
I agree.
Notre Dame deserves Marcus Freeman.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say this. Did you notice how quickly after Arizona State fired Herm Edwards, he was back on Fox?
I don't have a problem with that either. Look, Arizona State had turmoil. They have problems internally, but they're also facing sanctions and stuff. Don't get me started on that. It happened before he got there.
Some of it. Some. Not all.
It's a mess. You don't have to know or care much about Arizona State, but it's a disaster. Be happy that your team is not Arizona State. That's all. It's a real problem.
That is correct. All right, Greg. Let's finish this out here, buddy. So this is 2 Men in a Football.
Who did?
I am taking Cincinnati. Yes. I'm going to go put on my Joe Burrow.
I'm not confident in this, by the way.
I'm not either.
The Bills are so good. Josh Allen's amazing.
Josh Allen's amazing. Stephon Diggs is amazing. You've got Gabriel, who's amazing. They've got running backs that they got like the 300 monster there.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, I see.
That's James Franklin.
Wearing a Franco Harris jersey.
It's cute.
Wearing a Franco Harris jersey.
Okay. It's fine.
Well, Franco Harris went to Penn State.
I don't know. It doesn't make you a good coach.
It does not.
That'd make you a good leader.
I could make some very rude remarks about some stuff that has gone on at Penn State, but I'll leave it.
That's low hanging fruit. You know, it's your podcast. Feel free. Now I'm curious. What are you gonna say, huh?
We won't talk about the past.
All right.
We won't talk about them taking down
Yeah,
statues.
even nobody deserves what happened there.
No, exactly.
Well, they deserve a guy like Matt Rule. That's all I'm gonna say.
But this is 2 Men of Football. I'm Chris Smith. To my left of me is Greg Thompson. Want to thank him for hanging out with me tonight. We had a great show. Probably going to hang out for a little while longer down here.
I don't want to leave.
I don't want to either. But I do want to go put on my Joe Burrow jersey and get ready for this.
You do that, I'm going to take off my pants and get this part.
Jesus. That went sideways
No,
good.
he's nowhere to be found.
But,
Actually, there he is.
Tadaro's Pizza, 116 North Markley Street, downtown Greenville, right down the road from Ford Field. Right next to us is Hoppin' Urban Red. We are here doing this podcast every other Monday, so 2 Mondays from now. Just
So you're not doing one for the College Football National Championship?
Not from here.
Okay.
It'll be from Coliseum.
I hear you. Gotcha.
It'll be from Coliseum.
Okay, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
You're
So
going to be doing it live during the game?
live before the game because we're 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
6:30, 7:30.
Trips me out.
And then want to thank Plumbing and Pink, Rusty and Lynn Greer, 864-735-7014. If you have any plumbing, HVAC needs, they are the people to reach out to. They also do a hell of a lot of community work. And then you've got Chris Pryor, Service Realty, 864-380-0525. The best realtor in Greenville, and I'll tell you a 2-minute story why. I met the guy who's bartending at Portofino's. He said, I just got my real estate license. I said, hey, I need a realtor. We closed on the house. The morning of us moving into the new house, he showed up with a box of Joe and a dozen donuts and said, I'm here to help you move. That is a guy.
That's a friend.
That is a friend, and that is someone you want as your real estate agent.
That's amazing. I didn't know that story.
Yes.
Friends call you on your birthday, bail you out of jail, and help you move. Those are my 3 rules.
And he showed up with coffee and a dozen donuts.
He didn't bail you out of jail yet, but I bet he would.
If I really, I'm not even going to go
You
there.
think you couldn't call Chris?
I probably
He wouldn't
could.
be there, man. I guarantee it. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Andy. Y'all are awesome.
But anyway, want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week live from Coliseum. Too bad John, the owner of Tadaro's, couldn't make an appearance today.
It's because he's busy, because he
He's
runs
busy.
an awesome business.
He is busy
On a
AF.
Monday night, where there's so many restaurants that are closed on Monday nights, and rightly so, they're making it work, man.
All right. Have a great night. See you next week.